Hi, Les Mills On Demand fam. It's Tina here. I'm going to do this in video, believe it or not, because so many people ask me about what I eat, especially I guess at my age, right? At 55 and 5 years without having my period. Right, so 5 years full-on menopause, how I lost that weight in my middle, that sort of thing. So many people asked me that I thought, oh my gosh, I would be typing for days. I'm not a copy and paster on Messenger, so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna let you guys meet me and tell you what I did. Anyways, I'm Tina Margris. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I'm 55, almost 56 in April, and I am a phys ed teacher, high school phys ed teacher. I was actually a podiatrist. 20 years ago, I closed my practice, 22 years ago actually, and I have been a high school teacher ever since, which was my very first degree and the best thing I ever did. So I've always been extremely physically active, and 3 years ago, I had knee surgery to clean up my meniscus, and they removed it. And so it was a really devastating time for me because I had been a national athlete and always been athletic and into fitness and into everything, and was playing a lot of squash and competitive stuff, and it went from everything to zero. And the orthopedic surgeon saying you need a knee replacement. And at the time, I refused the knee replacement because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to need a few of these in my lifetime, right? At least two. So I refused the knee replacement. I take really good supplements. I don't take any medication, but I was still kind of in limbo. And so 2 years ago, I started to do Les Mills classes, and it was amazing. The first class I ever did was a body pump class. I couldn't do one lunge. And at the end of the class, I cried my eyes out. And the instructor came and said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe that it's got to this, but I persevered. And I started to add different classes. So I was at first just going to body pump, and then I started some tone, and then I did a flow here and there. And it wasn't until maybe 8 or 9 months ago, maybe less, then I started to do combat. And then I added attack. And almost everything I do, a lot of everything I do is modified, as I can't shuffle, so I do jacks instead, stuff like that. But yeah, and I don't jump a lot, although I am getting now a lot of strength in my legs, so I'm able to do some of the jumping. But yeah, everything is modified. But really, the game changer for me was changing my diet. And the funny thing is that I knew about this program. I had been affiliated with the company utilizing the products for my knee, right? The supplements for my knee. And I did not really, follow the program or think about it. And then one of my BFFs, who's a Les Mills instructor, said, "Let's do the nutrition program, see where it gets us." She's turning 52 in a couple of weeks. So we did, and it was life-changing because I went from being, I think I was about 163 pounds when you see in that before picture, to I'm just hover between 140 and 145. And I have maintained that, which is the exciting thing. So I really feel like I didn't do a diet. I feel like I learned a new lifestyle. And yes, it includes some supplementation, but I think it's supplementation that is justified and good for you. Not some crazy fat burning madness or anything like that. And it's called Zen Project 8. And initially the program is an 8-week-long program that's split into 3 phases. So there are 3 phases in the program. The first one is a detox phase. The second one is called Ignite. And the third phase is called Thrive. The detox phase is 1 week long. And what happens is when you decide that if you want to try the program, you get a booklet for each phase, right? And in the booklet, it tells you, all the foods they encourage you to eat and foods they discourage you from eating throughout the program, that sort of thing. And the big thing is that they want you to eat 3 meals a day. 3 meals a day where you balance your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates. So, there's a lot of diety things out there where you're just drinking shakes, maybe 2 shakes a day and then having a meal, that sort of thing. No, this is something that your whole family can do, right? Your whole family can eat this way. And I think that's kind of what's really exciting about it, because I'm of the philosophy, you would not tell your child to fast, right? Fast till after lunch and then you can eat. And you would not put your child on a ketogenic diet unless they needed to be on a ketogenic diet, because initially ketogenic diets were formulated for children who could not metabolize sugars. So, but you wouldn't put your child on a diet with no carbohydrates whatsoever. They're our brain food, right? Anyway, so it's a balance all the way through of the 8 weeks of eating proteins, fats, and carbs, and measuring the amount that you would eat, not by weighing it, not by counting macros, because that stuff's way over my head. I failed high school math. Yeah, I'm a teacher, but I failed high school math. Anyways, phys ed teacher. So measuring, so even if you go out, that the protein's going to be the size of your palm, right? Your carbohydrate would be the size of your fist, and then your fat would be probably from here to here. Example, half an avocado, that sort of thing. And yes, you go like this, oh my God, this is it for my carbohydrate. That would be it for rice or white potatoes or things like that. The other carbohydrates, 9 million thousand kinds of vegetables and all that sort of thing, have it all. That's the kind of eating it is. And so what happens is, in order to keep our blood sugars level, because really that is what did it for me. I have no crashes or any craziness in the day. I don't have cravings. None of it. And the reason being is that I keep the blood sugars level across the day. So I have breakfast. I have a shake. I have lunch. I have a shake. And then I have dinner. And if I'm hungry before I go to bed, I take that protein powder and I make pudding and I have a little dessert. But that's exactly how I eat. And I eat that way through the whole 3 phases. The detox phase is a little bit harder because kind of asks you to not have dairy and not have grains for 1 week. And I think the reason being is that so many of us have sensitivities to gluten, right? Or dairy, and we don't realize it. So for instance, I didn't know that I was sensitive to gluten and dairy, even if it's not a full-blown allergy, but a little bit sensitive. So for instance, if I have, we make homemade pizzas on Friday nights here at our house, and I have pizza and with lots of cheese or whatever on it, within an hour, I'm congested. So then my nose is runny and I'm clearing my throat. And then when I wake up on the next morning after eating that kind of stuff, my eyelids are almost swollen. I'm thinking, my God, what happened? And I didn't realize until I did that detox week where I didn't have the dairy and I didn't have the grain that, wow, if I eat it in certain amounts, these are the reactions that I'm getting. And in that detox week, so you eat, proteins, fats, and carbs the same, but you're leaving out the grains for your carbs. So it is mostly vegetables, right? And then I take a detox supplement. So the detox supplement is just one, I guess it's a caplet, because it's not a capsule, caplet. And that has dandelion root, milk thistle in it. And I took it for 7 days. And it was just kind of a helper to help you detox, help to clean your liver, help to clean your kidneys. And that week also resets your adrenal glands. which is huge because you get rid of any inflammation or any bloat that you might have. And usually there's a significant amount of weight loss, like 3 or 4 pounds in 1 week, and you're thinking, oh my God, but really you were that inflamed. It's crazy, inflamed inside. Yeah. Anyways, the second phase is called an ignite phase, and that's where you reintroduce your grains, and you can reintroduce your dairy and a little bit of cheese and that sort of stuff, and follow through with that. The same, I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have 2 shakes in between, and I also, in that phase, I take a supplement, and it's called Zen Shape, and what that is it actually helps us with our leptin levels. So our leptin is, we could call it our fat hormone, but what it does is it goes to our brain, to the hypothalamus in our brain, and it sends messages like, I'm starving, I'm craving this, I'm really hungry. Only if it's low, we get those messages in our brain. If we keep our leptin levels at an optimum level, then we don't have cravings, we don't have like sugar crashing, any of those things. And leptin is natural in our body. We produce less of it as we get older. And also what's really cool is leptin is the hormone that actually helps our body to metabolize fats. So if our leptin levels are low, our body will hold on to our fat. And I think that is part of the big menopausal thing, right? Or the post-baby thing, where you're holding on to that belly fat. And so our leptin levels are a little bit low. The body's not metabolizing fat. So I would never call that supplement Zen Shape a fat burner. It really does help in the metabolizing of fat. And then because it's sending the messages to our brain through our leptin that we're at an optimal level, it helps to suppress our appetite. We don't have that hunger. And then the last phase is when we really start to introduce a lot of our old life back. So in that first month, you know, it's not like having crazy cheat days or anything like that, although I did have some red wine, and I did do the lead a group through the program through our Canadian Thanksgiving and our Christmas, all our Christmas celebrations. I still had Thanksgiving. I had everything, pumpkin pie, gravy, you name it, I had it. Same with that Christmas, but I just have the habit of jumping right back on plan, you know, right away after I have my big splurge day. So I live in the last phase. I live in the thrive phase, where if I want to have a really great night out, I don't hold back at all. But then I just jump back into plan. And then one of the other things that I did was when I indulged for a whole week at Christmas, right, then I did a 4 days of detox, right, after that Christmas holiday, which got rid of all the bloat and the inflammation. Then I was completely back on track. And in that thrive phase, I drink a supplement. It's actually like this, comes in a little tube, right? It's like a little drink pouch. And this is a branched chain amino acid. And so branched chain amino acids are in our body naturally, and of course get depleted as we get a little bit older. But their key job is to help hold on to lean muscle. So when you see the definition in my old lady arms, I really attribute it a lot to that I'm eating my proteins, fats, and carbs, keeping the blood sugar and leptin levels level, you know, and I'm taking the branched chain amino acids. And so that is really what helped to give me a lot of the shape and definition in my arms once I was losing the weight, because I really do notice that. And I have 2 of these a day. I have it as my first drink of the day after I have my coffee, and then I have one while I'm working out. So that's kind of how the program works. And like I said, I live in the last phase of the program. You'll probably see Melanie on the Less Meals on Demand. She uses me as a guinea pig, and she does a lot of correcting of form because she just sees so much craziness going on, even in her classes that she teaches. So she thought, oh wow, that would be cool to contribute to the group somehow, right? That's working out at home, that sometimes doesn't have anybody to look back at them, or you're looking at the video, right, and can't watch yourself in the mirror to correct yourself, to be aware of those things. Anyways, that's it. Oh my gosh, I talked for 15 minutes. It's way, way too long, but I don't know how to describe it any other way. If it's something that interests you, I'm happy to help you. We have our own little group, our own private group inside Facebook as well, where we're all living this Zen Project 8 life. And Melanie and I continue to lead people through the program and through the program and through the program. And yes, I am affiliated with the company. I would never hide that from anyone. It's a company I'm really proud of, and was happy to hang that company next to my doctor's shingle any day of the week. So yeah, that's it. Anyways, ask me any questions you want, and I just want to help other people. I want people to feel the same way I do, because it was life-changing.